Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a build order on Odin and giving you a quick recorded game review as well, so you can kind of get a feel for the god itself. This was heavily requested. A lot of my friends actually reached out to me and they wanted to see this as well. I think Odin is one of the strongest gods right now, and he's really fun to play, so highly recommend all the new players give him a try. He's not that difficult once you get things once you figure things out, which I'll try to help you with today. Here are his bonuses, right? So he has a food gathering bonus, which is great. Food is the most important resource early on, and the fact that he gets 10% faster gathering from it is an amazing bonus. Great Hall units generate more favor in battle, so this is really good in terms of if you want to build myth units, but personally I would save it for another great hunt if you can use it later on. Food is so important early on, so that's what I would want to use it on. He regenerates hit points, so what that means is if you're going to be raiding with your cavalry, you get low on HP, you can actually just bring them back out of the fight, gather them, like try to generate some hit points, and then you can put them back into the fray. So that's really good as well. And another bonus is he gets 2 ravens that spawn on the first temple. And this is so good because you can find out where exactly you want to attack. If you want to find his wood, you want to find his hunt, these two ravens will help you out tremendously. Another thing is these ravens will scout exactly what he's doing. It's so nice to have, especially as a beginner player. So I'm just going to jump into the replay now. If I go to this one right here, and while that's loading, actually, I'm going to be also going over. Let me just pause this real quick. This is the build order. So if you guys want to, write it down, or if you guys want to just pause here, look at the build and jump into your games, go ahead. And now let's just get into it. So the first 2 villagers are going to go to food. One villager that comes out is going to build an ox cart. That ox cart is going to go to gold. He's going to build another ox cart, and with that ox cart he's going to go to wood. The first thing you train as soon as the game starts is a dwarf. Okay? So 2 to food. You're going to build 2 ox carts with 1 villager. 1 ox cart is going to go to gold. 1 ox cart is going to go to wood. And the villager that was building that ox cart is also going to go to wood. Okay, so let's see how it plays out. Alright, so 2 to food.
Yeah, that.
You can use your great hunt now if you'd like. You do get more food if you save it for another age, but I just use it usually. Alright, so now 2 more to food.
Yeah.
Right. There's the second one to food. After that, you're going to put 1 to gold. Here I use my great hunt. Okay, so we're going to put 1 to gold. We're going to put 1 to food after that. 1 to wood after that. And now we're going to put 1 to wood, 1 to food. And after that food bill, you're going to put another one on dwarf. I'm making a dwarf. Okay, so now we're going to make a dwarf. And just make sure you're scouting with your elf sark. See whatever goats you can pick up. It doesn't matter too much about the scouting because you do get the ravens, but you have nothing to do with them at the beginning, so might as well. Alright, so now you're just going to be putting them on food up until 7. Once you have 7 gatherers on food, you're going to put 2 gatherers on wood. Around this time is when you're going to be able to build your temple as well. Okay, so just do a recap as well. So you're going to have 7 on food, 4 on wood. You're going to put 1 more on gold. And you're going to have 4 dwarves on gold. And then you're going to hit that age up button. Okay? And this is there's a lot of Odin builds out there. But the Odin builds that I've seen rely on you using straggler trees. And straggler trees have an inefficient gather rate. Alright? Because you have to walk back and forth. Also, sometimes people put too many on dwarves early. And they also have to use their villager at the beginning. This build, you don't use your villager on gold at all, which means you're going to be gathering at a more optimal rate. The wood is actually being gathered by an ox cart the entire game, so there's no straggler trees, there's no walking time. Once again, you're going to be more efficient in your wood gathering, and you're going to be more efficient in your gold gathering. So, with these efficiencies, you can easily get a Hearser out, which is what I'm going to do right now. And with this Hearser, you can go and pick up a relic or, start building walls like I'm doing right here. And I can also, the cool thing about this build is I can get hand axe and pickaxe at the same time And once I advance, which is very shortly, I still have enough wood for my first production facility, which you're going to see very soon. Right, so as soon as I advance, I throw down the Great Hall. And this is kind of cool because like you have no inefficiencies with this build, right? And look how much you can do with Odin. Like you can get your upgrade for your hand axe, you can get your upgrade for your pickaxe, you can get a Herser out getting relics, you know, and you can build your Great Hall and there's no delay on anything, which is incredible, right? There's not many civs that can do this. The first Valk I usually send, I try to do some raiding. I try to hit the wood line if I can, right? Also, I usually make a few more dwarves. I go up to 6 or 7, because at the beginning is when I need food for my units. So I usually put on 7 on gold or so. Sometimes 6, sometimes 7. You know, it is what it is. And then I just start making gatherers. You can decide if you want to put them on wood, if you need a lot of throwing axemen, or you can put them on food if you're building primarily raiding cavalry. So that's an option for you. Make sure that you don't put them all on the same food source. You want to split them apart. So this one's going to go to chickens. This one stays on hunt, right? And I'm just going to speed this up so we can watch the recorded game that I played with one of my friends. Okay, you can see like I already have a pretty nicely sized army, right? You can put pressure all over the map, and you have a really good economy to back it up too, because you have dwarves, which have a higher gather rate than regular villagers. Okay, so now let's jump into a recorded game. This recorded game is with my friend Nyan Racing Cat. He's in my opinion, he can be a top 10 player, top 15 player. Great player in Age of Empires 4, great player in Age of Mythology. I'm going to link his YouTube down in the description as well, so definitely check him out. So here we go. I'm not going to talk too much about the build because we just went over it together. We're just gonna look at the strategy part of it now. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this really fast. When the game is, I should probably lower the volume because there's gonna be a lot of fighting going on. So I'm just put it down to like maybe 10%. Once again, we're not really too focused on the build in this game. I'm just gonna show you the overall strategy. So you can see my scouting. I did a little circle around my base. I just want to see where everything is, right? Like I want to have a little mental. Another tip I can give actually, now that we're talking about this, you want to memorize where all the resource placements are, right? I want to memorize, okay, I know that there's a gold mine there. I know that there's a food source here. And then, you know, there's a food source here, food source here, food source here. And you want to, not only do you want to memorize where they are on the map, you want to count them, right? So these are 3 giraffes. Each giraffe is 300 food. So there's 1200 food here. There's 3 giraffe plus 3 gazelle, which is 150, I believe. So there's 1200 plus 450 here. Same thing, you know, you got the rhinoceros, 1000 food plus 2 gazelle minimum there. So you want to know where all your resources are, which spots there are, and you want to memorize it, because in the heat of the moment, when the game is going on, you don't want to start looking for it. I am guilty of that myself. Sometimes I do that, but try yourself to make a mental map of the game itself. You know, in some tournament games from like 10 years back when I was playing versus top level opponents, I still remember the map to this day, where the town centers were, where the gold mines were. That's because I was really in the zone at the time. I was actually like really deep into the game. And when you have deep focus, deep concentration into the game, then you can remember these things. So you want to limit all your distractions. When you're actually trying to play a competitive game, you want to turn off your music. You want to make sure there's nothing else going on around you. You want to be really focused, right? Okay, so now I'm advancing. Once again, these little tiny walls, if you can add them in, it's really valuable, because now units can't pass through here, right? You can't be raided through here. You can only come from this side, so you only need to focus on one side. So once again, I make the Herser. Here, I wasn't sure, okay, is he going to be attacking me really fast? Because he is Loki, and Loki is really good versus Odin. So he could be attacking me really early, and if he is, I don't want to get my hand axe and pickaxe, because I want to pump out as many units as I can to crush his aggression. So here I scouted a little, right? I didn't see any forward builds. I didn't see anything going on. So I am getting more and more comfortable with researching these techs, because I don't see anything coming up right now. I see a house. I see him gathering that relic, right? So things are looking okay. Here I wanted to delay him a little bit, so I did force fire right on his wood. This is not the best use, in my opinion. The best use was if I took this Valk, ran in here, and then I used it with the Forest Fire, I can usually snag a Vil or two. So here, not the best use, but I kind of wanted to test it out a little bit to see what it does. Another thing to note as well, if you're going to use Forest Fire, I use Forest Fire here, but he has a tree right here, a straggler tree. So realistically, it did absolutely nothing. So you want to like think about those things before you do it. And even me as one of the top players in this game, it's things that I forget all the time, right? So it's not a big deal. I did a longhouse for raiding cavalry, and I did a longhouse for throwing axemen and a great hall for raiding cavalry. And now I'm looking to press my advantage to do some damage. Sorry, one sec. I actually have a call. I'm just going to need to pause this recording for a second. Alright, sorry guys. I had a delivery downstairs, so this is a little bit abrupt, but I'm back into it. So I'm going to unpause the game here, and we're going to go with it. So just to recap, I went to the next age. I am producing cavalry from this building right here, Great Hall, and I am producing throwing axemen from here. The goal is to find ways to do damage with your raiding units and defend at home with your infantry. And when it's time to push, you push with everything. Okay, so let's carry on. Here I was just doing some searching to see if I can find any Vils. In hindsight, this guy should be a little bit closer to his base so I can see it. Right now this is a mistake on my part. He's not in a good position. So I'm still looking around the map with him. And here I'm just preparing my base, right? I'm getting the buildings that I need. And I'm just getting units out. I know that as the game goes, like at the current state, I know that my army is going to be stronger. The reason why is because of this eco bonus. I get faster food gathering, and I also advance faster than him too. So I know my army is going to be stronger. So that's why I'm looking to push my advantage here. And here I saw his units. Once again, I know for sure that I have a better army here. However, the moment he casted this, I should be retreating, because this thing is gonna heal his units while they fight. The healing springs, right? I kind of wanted to see how well I did in this fight. Like, I knew probably taking this fight was not the right idea, but sometimes, even especially in practice games, you just want to try things and see how they go, right? Because you'll never know how strong something is unless you actually try your best, like try to contest it. So here I took the fight. I'm just going to zoom in and we're going to play it. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. So you see, like, as this fight is happening, his units are regenerating in the process, right? So even though I had more units, these guys are just regenerating as the fight goes on. Like, you can see this Valk is struggling to kill this one throwing axeman. So the moment that happened, I should have retreated. It's a very good god power. And now, the fact that I didn't retreat, you know, put me at a pretty bad disadvantage. Now it's somewhat of an even game from this point onwards. Okay, so now we're even on military, and which is kind of fun. You kind of want to put yourself in a position where, you know, you're not just going to stomp the person because you have a build order win. You want to put yourself in a position where, especially in custom games where the game plays out and you can get lots of practice. So this is good for practice. Now I went back, I regrouped, and looking at the map, ask yourself, where are you weak? There's two spots that I'm weak in right now. The first spot is this wood line right here, and the second spot is this hunt. His army was situated here, so there's more likely for him to attack this hunt. He also didn't have that many cavalry units, so I'm not too worried about him coming in here. If he does come in here, usually it's going to be a slow-moving army, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm more worried about this. So take all your units, position them there, and you want to rally point all your buildings there too, so that way these guys are safe, right? He can't really raid this. At the same time, never give up your map presence. So I'm raiding this entire time, even if it's with 2 raiding cavalry. I just want to put a little bit of pressure onto his base. Now he's just massing up a really nice army. You see the fact that I took that fight gave him all of these myth units, right? He has 3 trolls and a Valk. I have no myth units, so his army is actually a lot stronger right now. But it's a slower moving army, so if he moves with this army, he has to commit. So I scouted the entire map. all of the external resources and I didn't see him on anything. So I know that he's bottled up in his base right now. And I'm just moving my army into just prodding around the map to see if there's anything there, and I see this. Right, so let me just go back to my view. This is what I saw. And I got caught off. I didn't expect him to be there. I lost some free units and I retreated. So now, even though I lost these units actually, like the information I got was really valuable. I knew what his composition was, and primarily I knew that he didn't have anything to contest my raids, right? He has very slow moving army. He had throwing axemen, some Herser, and he didn't have anything to really stop my raids except his Valk, which is not enough. So if that's the case, I'm free. I just go and raid with all of my raiding cavalry, and I know that I can do some damage now. And these guys are just going to go back at home. So here was a really nice raid. Note that I know 100% he's here, by the way, because I scouted here, 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 and here. I didn't see anything here, so I knew he was there 100%. So I knew that this was going to do some damage. Came in, killed some Vils, killed 3 Vils right there, killed a Berserker, and now I'm going to idle all of his economy. You see, his entire economy is idled. And something like this is game ending, right? You can't come back from this anymore at a high level. It's very, very hard to come back from this. So now that I have such a massive Vil lead, all I need to do is sit it back in my base and just wait it out. Wait for him to come to me. I don't need to do anything anymore. I know that I've killed enough villagers, and I know that as long as I survive, I'm not gonna have anything to worry about. And he knows this too. He's not a bad player. He knows that he has to do damage now because I'm way ahead. But I'm not gonna take this fight. Remember in the other previous video I told you guys, only wait until the last minute when you absolutely have to take a fight to take it. And I don't mind if he kills this house, this longhouse, or this great hall. I'm not worried about it. As long as I can keep on making units, keep on getting in a bigger advantage with my army, I'm not too worried about it. And in the meantime, while he's doing damage here, I send my raiding cavalry for another expedition, and I'm going to raid his base again. Right? Because he has nothing to contest me. So I go in his base, I idle everything. Now here, I notice there's no gold mine, right? He's finished his gold mine. So, was there a gold mine here? Yes, I checked it. There's nothing there. Now the only other spot he can be is here. So I know, okay, this is going to be awesome, right? I know right away he's there, 100%. And I go in there and I do a massive amounts of damage. Look at this raid right here, right? Now he's even further behind. He turned all of his units into berserkers, and I killed most of them as well. So like, things are looking really good at this point. And I cleaned up his army back home, and that spells the end of the game for him. Alright, so I hope you guys learned a lot from this game. I hope you enjoy the build. And also, I actually was playing around with my microphone settings, so if you guys can let me know if you think the microphone is a lot better now. I tried my best to play around with different softwares to see if I can get this to go a little bit louder for you guys, so just let me know in the comments section if it's better. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate that. Take care. Bye.